we have a football goal now in the garden. Have to say, not entirely enamoured with it. It's not the most subtle looking thing, is it? But thankfully I've got a plan where it won't look so hideous. Now, I've nothing against football. In fact, in my day I used to be a competent, if slightly vicious, right back. But what I don't want is a goal to be the first thing everyone notices when they walk into my garden. So what I'm going to do is paint it a colour that will just take it away from the eye a little bit. First of all, take the goal apart, and then you're going to have each individual piece like this. And what you need to do is get a good surface for the primer to grip onto. It's called keying the surface. And you do this really simply with a bit of rough sandpaper. And don't forget to give it wiped down with a cloth, just to get rid of any dust before you start painting. And finally, just use a universal primer to paint all your pieces. This means it's possible to use any kind of paint really on top that's an exterior paint and give it a good colour. When you are painting with a primer, do try to make sure you don't put too much on at once, because otherwise it runs and makes a bit of a mess. It's better to use 2 thin coats than 1 really thick one, but actually I think 1 will do fine for this. There we have it, all done. Now you just need to leave it to dry for about 6 hours before you can overcoat it. 21 pieces down, now I've just got to get the next coat on. The nice thing is you don't have to worry about specialist plastic paints because you've primed it now, so any exterior grey paint will do. I've got one that's for exterior wood and metal. Yes, it's Farrow and Ball. Yes, that's a bit expensive, but I had it anyway and it'll match other things I've got in the garden. But really, you can use anything. Even exterior masonry paint I've used over the top of this sort of primer before and it's worked fine. And there you have it, all done. Well, the first coat. To be honest, you're going to need to leave this to dry for about a day and then add a second coat because otherwise you'll still see the white through it. Nice thing is though, blends beautifully with my kitchen cabinets. Why so handy? And there it is, the finished article. And this has been in the garden for 2 months now and a solid use. Still looking pretty good. It was almost worth the effort.